evening. Thanks for coming. You're all very welcome. Glad to see such a big turnout on such a mucky night. I'd like to introduce a man who has the unenviable task of having to say a few words about these things on the wall. He's a renowned horseman, horse trainer, horse breeder, horse educator, equine educator, and he's a fellow of the British Horse Society, William Mitchell.
Thank you. There's no burden. I've been going around with a smile on my face for the last day and a half. You know what it is in life, we all love surprises, but so often the surprises we get in life are not so nice. Suddenly we come across a nice surprise. And when I came into this gallery yesterday and I walked around, I was just glowing, I was just smiling from then on. Because all of these paintings are so right. It's so often that, you know, I'm a horseman, I'm not an artist. And it's so often when you go to see equine exhibitions, the horses aren't quite right. But here, you know, we really have to stand back from some of these pictures, but every leg is in the right place. Every ear is in the right place. You know, just round the corner, you'll see a little later if you haven't been up there, up to the right, there's one which is entitled Loose Horse. And the horse looks like it's on Torella Beach and has got loose. And he doesn't know whether he should look forward or he should look back. And as most of you know, the ears go with their eyes. So the ears are dead vertical, because he's trying to look front and back at the same time. And it's those little details which are so important. Anatomically, they are fantastic. We have a couple of vets here tonight, so I think we'll confirm that. And you know, the painter that was so famous for studying the anatomy of a horse and getting it right was Stubbs. As a boy in Cornwall with a horse-mad father, I was told about George Stubbs because of this painting of a horse called Whistle Jacket. Now, Whistle Jacket was sold for 11 million sterling, and it sits in the National Gallery. So who knows? Invest. Who knows?
I wish, William, I wish.
Whistle Jacket was in what they call a levade position. So he's rearing up but sitting on his hind end, as opposed to that horse there, which is rearing up with open hock. But straight away I looked at that. I said, it's strange compared with the others, because that's an Arab. And indeed, I discovered that it is an Arab, and in fact it's been surface trained. I was also told in Cornwall about Mullins, Sir Alfred Mullins. And that, you may say, why was that? Well, it's because Sir Alfred Mullins came down to Cornwall, and he was part of what they call the Newlyn School of Art, where he met a young lady. And the reason why I always remember it, hearing my father talk about it, is he then married the young lady, considerably younger than himself, and they went away on honeymoon. In the process of honeymoon, she tried to kill herself. So committed suicide. And it sounds dreadful. She obviously suffered from depression. 2 years later, she managed to pass very sadly. But I'm often asked, can horses get depression? Can you see in a horse if they are depressed, if they are unhappy? Can you see the reverse? Can you see that they are happy? And if I can just move people forward a little bit, behind where I'm pointing to here, I look at the two brown horses there, the two bay horses, one with a rider and one without the rider. As soon as I saw those horses, I just went, ah, because those horses are going, ah. Now the one on the right is the rider is here tonight, is Anna. There's Anna. And she's sitting beautifully, and why wouldn't she be sitting beautifully? Because her trainer, Gillian Kyle, where are you, Gillian? is also here tonight. But you know, as a horse relaxes and goes well, it just goes, ah. And I think there's that feeling there in that picture. And then the one on the left, I was particularly delighted to see this one. Most people don't know why. It's because it's wearing what is called a mixing bridle, a bridle that I designed. But it's not just because of that I like that. Again, the horse is at peace. The horse is at ease. And the fact that Ian can show the mental side of the horse's state of being is fantastic. Whereas the Arab here is saying, what am I going to be asked next? What am I supposed to do next? And you can just see it in the picture all the time. Now, I said about Mullins. Mullins had a particular picture of a chestnut mare that was sold for $6 million in the 1980s. Now, who knows whether this chestnut mare is going to be sold for $6 million in the future? Is she still at home? Is she still at home?
Mr. Gelding.
Okay, Mr. Gelding. Well, most people, when they sold horses to somebody that knows about horses, and it was chestnut, even if it was a mare, they'd say it was a gelding. And there was a big thing against chestnut. Big thing against chestnut. Now we've got something more sensible. We don't know, in fact, we rather like chestnut mares. But the one that really attracted my attention is the one over here. Left and right. Ronald Duncan wrote some wonderful words about horses, and he said, where grace is laced by muscle and strength by gentleness confined. Where grace is laced by muscle and strength by gentleness confined. He serves without civility. He has fought without enmity. And to me, I'm looking at that chestnut horse, whether it comes from the stable or whatever. To me, actually looks more like one of the coloured drum horses in the Household Cavalry. They always have 4 coloured horses in the Household Cavalry in Britain. To see that horse, that's cute, despite those raucous, fierce, difficult throws on his back. But that's exactly what those horses were like. And of course, these were the horses that went to war. These were the horses that went to left Ireland at the rate of 1,000 a week, even at the time of the Second World War. Can you imagine that? 1,000 a week leaving these shores to go to war. And of course they did fantastically well because they were of such good temperament. Most of them were 3/4 Irish class, more drafty than thoroughbreds. But what courage they had to face the fire, and what temperament they had to be like this, to be so peaceful. So that just resonates with me. And all of the pictures, they tell a particular story to me. And I think that's the nice thing. Rather than just being truly photographic, it allows the individual to look at them and have their own feelings, their own stories, being welling up from one's past. And then, of course, the grey horse here, that is so much money. But you know which horse I'd rather have in my house is this one here. Absolutely superb. It just tells me everything I want about a horse. It gives me that feeling that this is a horse that can do me some good. And but every time that I've come back this evening and yesterday, it just looks at me in a slightly different way. And it's interesting, you can go up forward, you can go up back, and it stays looking at you. It's unusual. It's very unusual. So, there's a very modest man who painted these, and I knew Ian because he did the sculpture outside the FEI headquarters at the international body in Lausanne in Switzerland. A sculpture of 7 leaves of solidarity sculpture bringing the different disciplines together. But Ian brings together some extraordinary qualities, and you'll probably say that these are not particularly special, but by God that they are special. And I'm so pleased to be here tonight for the exhibition, and please give Ian a huge round of applause.
Few words of thanks, particularly to William. I mean, my head's expanded somewhat, but to get William as a serious horseman, insight into the character of the horses depicted in the painting is terrific. So I'd love to thank you, William. I'd like to thank the Signal Gallery for giving me the space to show the work. I'd love to thank my wife Susan because she was sort of evicted from her own studio for the last year while I did the work. Thank my daughters, both accomplished horsewomen, for their constructive criticism. And to thank my models, the horses of course, who were so patient to let me work with them. Thank you. Thanks for coming.